Welcome back to another week of Rustbelt Sports.
Yep.
A big one for us.
It's big right now. Game's not over yet.
Game's not over. Recording this a little
Yep.
bit differently. Thursday night game.
Yep.
We gotta go to bed at some point.
Yeah, we gotta go
right?
to bed. 2:23 left in the fourth. 37-20 Browns. Third and second Jets. Jets just got a flag.
I mean, I think it's all but over, and we can say it.
We can.
It's official.
Yeah.
We are playoff bound.
Clenched.
We are there.
Can't be happier.
And we are firing on
Oh my
all
goodness.
cylinders.
I wonder
right
who it's
now.
going to be.
I don't know right now. I think based off what we're looking at, I've heard 4th or 5th seed we may be facing, which honestly is the best case scenario for us.
Yeah, who would we be facing? We face Miami.
If Jaguars if they win, it's Jaguars.
Okay.
And I believe if the Colts win but Jags lose, we face the Colts.
Okay, that'd be interesting. I'd be down to go to Lucas Oil again.
Dude, I'm down to head there. We went there once already this season, and I'm ready for a repeat.
Absolutely.
We already have a bet placed with the guy who was the Colts fan in our friend group.
Yep, and
we got to go if it happens. We got to show him up again.
We got to show him up again. We got to make that car ride hell for him.
Yeah, and we got to make that dog pound chant even louder.
Oh, my God. We lost our voices so bad. My head throbbed so much, I had to take a breath.
Oh, I think I went through a whole pack of cough drops the next day.
Oh, it was so bad. I think we went through 2 whole Kansas in that day, too.
But we did it.
Yeah.
Beyond all the things that happened this season, the Cleveland Browns made it.
You know, and it's shocking considering the records. I saw it pulled up earlier. 5-1 with Deshaun, 1-2 with DTR, 1-1 with PJ, and 3-1. Now moving to 4-1 with Joe Flacco.
I mean, we've said it time and time again. Joe Flacco has saved our season. There's no understatement.
To begin the season on your couch with your wife and kids eating Cheetos, and then come into the league and be one of the best passers of the ball in the entire league is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. And you know what? Who would have thought he would be able to bring Kevin Stefanski's game plan to life like this?
I mean, this is what we've all wanted. Yeah. We wanted a passing team like this.
I've also been seeing around internet, in Instagram here, that Joe Flacco had to face Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed in practice, and Brian Dawkins.
You're not wrong. And
so who's really going to challenge him today when it comes to a backfield? Like, right now we face Sauce and DJ.
Yeah.
And they're top 5 in a lot of categories for the cornerback position in general.
Yeah,
and right now, over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, he's just embarrassing every secondary. And, you know, beat the Bears. Great defense that came alive second half of the season. Beat the Jets. Consistent top defense.
Oh, and he's done things that it's crazy. It's not achievable normally.
No, it's not achievable.
To come into the league, and I think he broke the record now for the most 300-yard passing games to start this. Start a mid-season. Yep. I don't even know what you want to call it.
You know what? Matty Ice, I believe he did the same thing, correct?
He came to the Colts. Know on that one for sure.
You know, he wasn't playing. He came to the Colts, and he just blew. To be fair, that was that under Jeff Saturday?
Might have been, yeah.
I think that might have been under Jeff Saturday, but it's just not an easy thing to do.
I mean, Joe Flacco cannot get enough praise by Cleveland fan base. I think he's going to go down now as a legend in the Cleveland lore.
We're going to donate a bench in his name.
I mean, honestly, you take us far enough in the playoffs, you might see his statue appear somewhere.
Absolutely.
You never know.
Absolutely.
There is a fun stat that I saw that just popped up while we're watching this. This is the first NFL game to score 50-plus points in the first half and scores 0 touchdowns in the second half.
Yeah, the Browns and Jets are kind of legendary when it comes to scoring. I don't need to tell anybody that. You know, when you have 2 dominant teams, you're of course going to have a high-scoring game and then something you can drive home to for the rest of it.
I mean, it's a completely different game than what I went into anticipating. I was expecting low-scoring, hard-fought game.
Something more like the Bears or the Colts game we had this year.
But, I mean, it just took off. Right off the gate. And I mean, it was score after score. I couldn't keep up with it.
You know what? Simeon, I don't think anybody who's not a Jets fan could have named the starting QB for the Jets. And he's
doing better
than you'd expect, honestly.
I mean, honestly,
like he's doing better than Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah.
Who beat the Chiefs and they didn't have they had 1 completion in the first quarter and then no completions for the rest of the game.
It was like 63 yards.
And you know what? He's playing a good ball. He's
Yeah.
playing good ball. You know, you can't just praise the Browns right now.
To the Jets, let's talk about the Jets real quick. You know, they come into this game, no one expected anything. You see Aaron Rodgers sitting in the sideline. That's all they show because it's really what you guys have.
Yep.
Kind of shocked this game wasn't possibly flexed out, but the Browns are so hot that they couldn't. That's the thing.
That's the thing.
But you look at the Jets team, Breece Hall is an absolute crazy runner, catcher. He's come alive, saving fantasy seasons for many people right now. Yep. And he looked elite in this game.
Absolutely.
I mean, he made our defense work harder than it should have.
Oh, hey, Rico, can you pull up Garrett Wilson's stats for the season?
And then to go on top of it, their defense, I mean, we scored a lot.
So good.
They clamped us down in the second half.
Absolutely. They really stopped us. And you know what? I got to give some praise to, wow, we've been batting down a lot of passes. Our interior D linemen are crazy right now.
I mean, they locked us down. They forced a ton of turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Cleveland Browns do have one issue. We can't praise everything.
Yes.
We have a turnover problem.
Yeah, we are a turnover machine. That guy looks, his nipples
are
so
weird. Big man again.
That big man in the luchador mask.
I mean, we do have a
turnover problem, and you know, again, we are facing a very top elite defense in the entire league. The Jets, everyone knows not to sleep on the Jets, especially their defense, and they have just been creating crazy turnovers. We were lucky that the Jerome Ford one wasn't called on us.
Yeah, I think that.
But you know what? The Njoku one was crazy. You know, legs in the air, hands out.
It is official. We
are going to the playoffs.
We are official. Not a game just
Chiefs
ended.
just made it.
It's official. The Browns are going to the playoffs finally again.
Yep. We're going to a golf simulator on Sunday.
Thanks to Rico Sports Bets over here.
Yep.
Joe Flacco has led us there, and to go back to the one thing that we need to do, we just need to make sure that the turnovers get solved a little bit.
Yeah,
hold on to the ball a little better. They were batting them out, but still, we
a
got
lot
to work
of punches today. A lot of punches.
So that's our biggest concern that I see.
Here's a second concern: Amari and Moore being out.
That is a big concern.
You could see the reason we didn't do so well in that second half is because we just didn't have the men to be able to actually go and get the ball. And it's just
as soon as
it's night and day because Joe Flacco can be as good as he wants, but when you take Cooper and Moore out, you give him nothing at all.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as Cooper was out and Moore, it slots in Tillman and Bell.
Yeah, and you know what?
They aren't performing quite as much as we'd like them to. Yep. But the problem is then that shifts their entire defensive focus right to Njoku.
And then they clamp him down. Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad. I wanted to see Garrett Wilson's stats. Because, again, you got to praise him. He had, 60-something receiving yards today. Did he have a touchdown?
No touchdown.
No touchdown. The point is he has 958 yards on the season. This is his second season in a row with multiple QBs under center. This is his fourth this season. Garrett Wilson is just a crazy, crazy wide receiver.
Oh, Garrett Wilson's great.
And you know what? Even in a loss like he had today, you can still see what a gem he is.
Now let me run this thought by you real quick.
All right.
Garrett Wilson, Aaron Rodgers plays a full season, right?
Yep.
We're talking about a Jets team that would turn around. They've got 4 wins right now. I think they could have only 4 losses. If you add
Lyman and Aaron Rodgers to that,
Aaron Rodgers would make Garrett
line.
Wilson. I think Garrett Wilson could have easily went for 1,400 yards and probably had double-digit touchdowns.
Oh, I could have easily seen 1,500.
I mean, he could have been that next leap of just insane stats. But unfortunately, we all know what happens. It didn't.
Yep, you know, it happens.
Next
year. When the Jets finally get somebody under center who can actually toss the ball, if they can actually, you know, it's funny because they had Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
And he had 14 touchdowns for 6 interceptions and a 1-7 record. And it's so funny because I was about to say, you know, if you put Joe Flacco under center there, Garrett Wilson easily has the best year of his career. And think about that and just like, actually, wait, they did have Joe Flacco.
Yeah. And that's what my thing is. I think it was a scheme play. I mean, you look at it, I think Joe Flacco's scheming for Kevin Stefanski has been way better, and that's why we see Joe Flacco doing what he's doing.
Yep.
I think without Kevin Stefanski coming out here and saying, hey, I trust you.
Yeah.
With my job right now, like you're gonna go throw the ball as much as you want.
Yeah,
it's paid off.
I would love to see the comparison of how many times he ran a certain type of passing play on the Ravens during his prime. Play action, screen,
I don't
shotgun,
remember
standard.
Joe Flacco being a play action.
I don't remember
MVP.
either, but then again, it was a little bit ago. So first off, who knows? Second, this might just be very reminiscent of what he was doing with the ball at the Ravens facility. And if that's the case, then that is a crazy coincidence.
Look, I've seen highlights.
Not coincidence. We have a front office that makes these things happen now.
I mean, I watched the highlights of Joe Flacco with the play action, and it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
His play action capability is insane, and the mobility of him.
Yeah, again, for him, I've said it. I think this is my third week in a row saying it. I'm not going to stop saying it. The way Joe Flacco can just skate out of that pocket like a dainty ballerina on ice.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's absolutely crazy. When he's getting gunned down by Quentin Williams, he has the ball, he tucks it, he runs, he sees, I think it was more wide open, 10, 15 yards down the field.
I mean, look at the Ford play.
Oh, yeah, the Ford play. Oh, the Ford had a crazy run after catch, too, to make that touchdown happen.
That throw, him getting swatted in the face, gets out of pressure, throws to Ford. Ford then takes it upon himself, goes beast mode, shedding tackles, gets into the end zone.
You know what? Honestly, it feels like we're living in a parallel universe because you see a lot of these throws Flacco makes, and he's under pressure, and for some reason, it always looks like he's throwing it out.
Oh yeah,
you think it's going nowhere,
but it's going somewhere.
And it's going for a 15+ yard reception every time. Exactly like the one hander Njoku had today.
You thought it was
I thought he was throwing it out. The pressure was crazy, and then Njoku just one hands it. Makes it look like an easy thing they've done a million times in practice and goes right down the field, right in goal line range. And it's just so crazy to see Flacco just be, again, he came off the couch and he's one of the best passers of the ball in the league. And at this point, it's undeniable. Yeah. He's passed Deshaun in yards, touchdowns, with one less game.
Well, fun fact, if you took his stats across the entire season, he would break the NFL record for passing yards. Before this game, another 300-yard game, he was on pace if he played a full season at 5,590-something yards.
Yep.
So with this game, he'd be even above that. If he carried this through a whole season, you look at almost a 6,000-yard season.
Absolutely.
Now, his interception numbers would also be one of the highest.
But, if you're tossing the ball that much, it's got to be expected. But his touchdowns?
Oh, also would be one of the highest.
It would be one of the highest. He has, what is it? He had 3. He was
3 today.
And he had 10 before?
In total, I think he's almost at 11 or 12.
I thought he was at 13, honestly.
Might be. I mean, you
hear that across 4 games.
I mean, I'm trying to pull it up real quick here on the touchdowns. He had 10 coming into the game.
So he has 13 today.
13 through 5 games.
So what is that? That's 52?
Yeah.
That's 52 plus one other game?
Yeah.
So he would have had... He most likely... I mean... He's been throwing 3 touchdowns, 2+. He's been throwing 2+ touchdowns. He would have either come in right under or tied Peyton Manning's 55 touchdown record again if he played a full season. But this is just us being a little giddy and throwing out some Joe Flacco numbers to pump up the man, the myth, the legend.
In our defense, this is what Cleveland has been looking for.
Absolutely.
For years.
We keep trying to get the young rookie guy, the first overall pick, the guy who's just generational, Money Manziel, and who knew it was a guy eating Cheetos on his couch.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it.
That's a Kurt Warner story.
Yeah,
right
you look at what we've done with Joe Flacco, and this is what Cleveland has been trying to do for years. 37 quarterbacks, 38 quarterbacks have played for this team since 99.
Yeah, but you got to take out a 4-year span when Baker only missed 2 starts.
Yeah. I mean, Baker was a reliable guy to start, but you're talking about what we have dreamt since 99 as Browns fans.
Bernie Kosar?
Pretty much. I mean, this is what we've been missing, and everyone says, if the Browns just had to compete. Now we have one. Look where we are. 4 weeks ago, we're like, the Browns can make the playoffs. Now you're hearing people say, the Browns have a shot at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're having the storyline Jets wish they had.
Yes.
Getting that older QB to come out and go with their elite defense and kind of shoddy line and great running back and good wide receivers. Yeah. And you know what? That's what they wanted. That's what Cleveland got.
We are the storybook right now for the NFL.
Absolutely. We are the feel-good of the entire world.
The fact that you're looking at a team that started the season, we lose their starting quarterback, all the injuries we've had, to do what we're doing and just keep going, and we get better and better. Joe Flacco had the best game of the Browns' career so far.
Absolutely.
120, I think it was 120 QBR rating.
So good.
Because he only had one interception, which is a promising thing against the Jets.
Absolutely.
To hold only one interception, 3 touchdowns. It's I don't know what else to ask for.
I don't know what else there is to say, honestly. You know, we can come
and
out
we
here.
did all this without D-Hop and our starting punter.
Or
and
Amari Cooper and half the game without Moore. And Teller was back in.
They said I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true. We heard the announcers say it.
Missaid that Teller is out.
Yeah, he's out. But
point being is, I don't know what else to say about this team besides it's proving you all wrong.
Yeah,
each
week someone always makes a comment that it's a fluke, or we don't deserve it, or it's just one game.
Look at the record and what we've done.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to bring up this point. We haven't talked about him in a while. You know, seeing the success we're having now with Flacco, how confident are we in Deshaun Watson's ability to do the same thing?
Confidence.
There's no confidence?
There's no confidence. The front office is already having regrets about it. They've come out. It's not public, but there's rumor mills saying that they're done with Deshaun, which puts us in this boat of, all right, well, we got him on a contract. It's like the Russ situation. What do you do? Although Russ, to me, shouldn't be benched. I get what they're trying to do and make a statement, but Russ isn't having that bad of a season.
No, Russ is having a good season. At this point, I think they're doing it just to get the pick.
I guess so. But for us, you look at it next year, I'm not worrying about next year right now because I'm living in this moment.
Yeah, you know, this only happens once every 50 years for the Browns fans. And, you know, we got to live in the moment. Why talk about next year? We're here.
My thing is,
I'm from right here, right now.
I just want this to single-handedly go down. If the Browns somehow do go to the Super Bowl, even just go to it, give me a better storyline in the NFL. Like, give me something that goes down in history this season. Because we have so many stat-leading numbers.
Baker,
yes.
being a great player this year, you know, that's it. But you know what? They also didn't lose $60 million plus of their
26% of our cap space is on injury.
Yeah, and on injury right now. So
you tell me a storyline that makes it a better feel-good story. For everyone who hates the Browns and wants to diss the Browns, just admit that we are here.
Go home.
We are doing it. There's not. We're in the playoffs.
For all the people saying that, the only thing we have to say to you is, let's talk about in the playoffs. And if you're not there, then
don't talk to us.
Maybe speak up, or we'll see you next season.
I mean, look at our record. Says something right there. Look at the teams
11 and
beat.
11 and what?
11 and 5.
11 and 5. That's what?
Wow.
The second best record in the AFC?
I believe so. Yeah.
The only reason we're not in a secured spot is because the Ravens.
Can we also talk about the fact that
the Ravens we beat?
We beat the Ravens.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We beat the Niners.
Yeah.
2 of arguably the Super Bowl contenders there.
Yeah, you know, the only 2 teams that have an absolute clinched playoff
We're the only team to beat both of them.
Oh, in the same season. And we did that without our starters.
Yeah, there's no comparison.
What?
This has been absolutely crazy. And,
yeah.
And obviously we haven't really stuck to where we talk about the offense and defense because it's on. You watched it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys all probably watched this game. Yeah. I mean, there's not much we need to say. The defense played how they needed to play. The offense played how they needed to play without key starters. We're not here to break that down today.
No.
We're here to talk about what we have achieved just because we clinched a playoff spot and are able to do this.
Yeah. Honestly, 100%. You're talking about the people's champion. You're talking about a team that every time you hear about them, it's either something horrible happened, but then 2 days later, it's just how they overcame it, and they just keep finding a way to go out and impress everyone.
And it goes to show you, when you take a front office that's for years been building up, this front office is elite.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Deshaun is the only thing on their record that is a big no-no.
Yep.
And besides that...
And, you know, we don't even have a full season to actually say if it's a big no-no.
Not
we
really.
have a 5-1 record with him. That's nothing to sneeze at. His ball play in the games weren't exceptional. But you know what? Without a full season, it's like it's a no-no. But then again, we also never used it fully. That's like having a race car and never actually taking it up to top speed and being like, oh, it wasn't fast enough.
I mean, the thing is, it goes to show you what a good front office does.
Absolutely.
Having the faith to finally keep a coach for more than 2 seasons at a time, sticking with them through the good and bad of everything. I mean, you put them on paper with Jim Schwartz and Kevin Stefanski, and it's arguably the best coaching.
Honestly, there's
punch.
no better. Yeah, I think the only coaching
Campbell,
duo that could do, Dan Campbell and last year's Eagle, Nick Sirianni, and whoever their offensive coordinator was. Absolutely.
But, I mean, you look at it, and you go back to the Coach of the Year candidates, and everyone's talking about Dan Campbell. I love Dan Campbell.
Yeah, you know what? If Kevin Stefanski can't win it, then there's no one else more deserving than Dan Campbell.
I mean, Dan Campbell is a great coach.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% a Browns fan. I want to see it in Kevin's hand. I don't think anybody else deserves it more than Kevin Stefanski.
There's no one else out
there.
But
if it had to go to somebody else, Dan Campbell. And if you don't agree with that, it's, well, the Browns and the Lions have 2 of the best records in the entire NFL.
Well, it's the first time that they both won 10 games in like 70 years.
Exactly. And so, of course, they're going to be top 2 candidates. Show me. Are you going to tell me Sean McDermott or Andy Reid deserve it? Are you going to tell me Nick Sirianni deserves it this year?
I mean, my thing is with it, you look, and the reason I argue so much for it is Dan Campbell has his team that he started the season with.
Every single one of them. I think we don't have 26% of them.
We don't have,
and that's mainly offense too. That's mainly what wins us the games.
Yeah, we don't have 2 elite running backs.
Yep.
Montgomery and Gibbs are both great running backs. We don't have a running back that compares to them. No offense for, which we'll get into in a second.
Yep.
We don't have half our offensive line. We've lost defensive pieces weeks in, weeks out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to do what we're doing, I'm going to say it, and I'll just keep praising it. Kevin Stefanski deserves to win his second Coach of the Year.
Yep. You know, it's like seeing someone parallel park during rush hour. Just the man knows his vehicle.
Yeah, you give him
the
a
man
clap
knows
and go,
what he has.
Good for him.
Yeah, absolutely. The man knows what he has. He knows how to use it. And again, you can't knock him. If you're knocking him, you're looking for a reason to knock him, and you're saying,
to stop.
Yeah, you're bringing up the history of the past however many years they weren't good. And it's like, well, that's not now, is it?
Maybe your coach will be next year, but this year it's Kevin Stefanski.
It's Kevin Stefanski.
And Jim Schwartz.
And if it's not one of those 2...
Hell, it's the whole damn team.
You can't tell me it's not.
You give me that whole team, we win. The team of the year should go to the Browns no matter what.
Absolutely. There's no other choice. Speaking of no other choice, let me bring up comeback player of the year.
Oh, there's no comparison to me now. It's
again, I've said this before, and I don't want to sound mean, but comeback player of the year, you have to play games well, consistently.
More than get 5 tackles.
Consistently win games and be a part. Love Damar Hamlin as much as I can. Again, horrible what happened to him, but
it is.
You have to play football to be the comeback player of the year.
And
if you come back and you're around, that's awesome. But
I mean, to me, we saw 2 of the best comeback player of the year candidates in this game: Breece Hall, and Joe Flacco.
I think the only other person who should be up in that conversation is Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield does deserve
because he was just written off. But the thing is Breece Hall's coming off it. Baker just got switched to another team. Breece Hall's coming off an Achilles tear.
Yeah,
and Joe Flacco's just coming off of his couch. So there's no one else, and to 1,200 yards passing at this point, right? For Joe Flacco.
Oh, yeah.
13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. You can't tell me it's not Joe Flacco in the league.
And playoffs.
Again, love Damar Hamlin.
Taking the team to a playoffs counts in that, too.
But you have to be a player.
And also leading him to one of the best records in the NFL.
And one of the best records the Browns have had in the past however many years.
I don't remember a time when we weren't alive.
I think when we went to the playoffs with Baker, we were 10-7.
Yeah, so
or 10-6.
You can keep arguing. I'm going to put my name in the hat for Joe Flacco.
I would also put some money on that in DraftKings.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, what a season it's been.
It really has been.
I do want to say real quick.
How much time do we have before we start moving on to Ford and Njoku?
Well, that's what I was about to talk about real quick. To Ford, I apologize last week. I
Yep.
called you out
Sorry,
a little bit.
Ford.
Maybe you heard us. I don't know.
A lot of harsh things were said. We didn't really mean it. It was just the heat of the moment, and
we're Browns fans.
We're Browns fans. You know what we do.
You looked a lot better today, and you looked great.
Yep. You know what? Besides the fumbleitis you had, your 2 touchdowns were absolutely incredible.
I don't know why you got benched.
I don't know why you got benched either for how well you were doing. Maybe you just got tired.
Kind of an odd call.
Maybe you just needed some electrolytes, stretch yourself out.
I don't know what happened.
Or maybe we were just so secure in ourselves.
I guess.
That we were like, you know what? Let's just give him a break.
My guess was we had fumbling issues. They benched you because of the fumble, and then Strong came in and fumbled, and they benched him for Hunt.
Yep.
So obviously they were just going for ball security, and Hunt's
absolutely
more well known for that.
Hunt's a dog.
So, sorry to you. Unfortunately, we called you out last week. This was a huge improvement. I hope to see more of this in the next coming weeks. We averaged like 5 yards a carry almost this week compared to 2 for the previous 2 weeks.
Way to be,
Ford. So, we need that.
Built Ford tough.
I don't know about that slogan.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
But, yeah, we'll work on the slogan.
Yeah.
The one thing I will also say is David Njoku with the Joe Flacco connection.
Keeps proving it.
Just keep on coming.
We were saying this in the beginning, first time we ever made a video, how elite of a tight end Njoku is and what they need to do to utilize him. And Njoku this week, 128 yards flat.
In the first half.
First half. Did he get a touchdown?
No touchdowns.
No touchdowns, but 128 yards. He has to be leading. Or in the top 10 for a lot of tight end stats
almost
at this point.
Close to 1,000-yard season.
And that's completely
crazy. If he has one more big week, I'm pretty sure he's at like 850 now. So it'd be a push to get him to 1,000. But it's
but you know what? Under 1,000, we'll take it.
I mean, you can't argue.
We've had 4 starting QBs this year.
Yeah.
We'll take it. It's just like Garrett Wilson.
This is what
just
we
an
talked
untapped
about
gem
all season. He wasn't utilized as much in the beginning of the season. And look what happens to our offense when you bring the Njoku into it. Besides the fumble,
he's just
in that little stretch of his drops that he had. But again, you're starting different QBs. They all throw the ball different. It takes time to adjust to that.
It seems like they got together real well, almost.
But him and Joe,
though.
I don't know what those two were on.
It's like they're in the backyard playing catch after a barbecue.
I think Joe ditched his kids and said, "Hey, Njoku, come on over. Let's toss the pigskin around."
Absolutely.
So I can't diss it because Njoku is one of my favorite players.
Again, he's just a yak 'em up legend. Better than Kels, better than Kittle. Just yakking him up. I didn't say it's a tight end. I said it yakking him up after the catch.
After the catch, yes.
After the catch, he can. I don't think there's anybody you'd rather, because he's fast. He's a bull when you try and get contact in him, and he's elusive.
Let the man run.
I
mean, and Njoku, keep doing what you're doing, man. I'd love to see.
I love you, Njoku.
I mean, honestly, I can't remember who is the tight end I'm thinking of that the Browns had years ago. That was a great tight end, but he never got the recognition that he needed. I'll have to come back to it. No, there was one tight end, I can't remember his name, but it was a couple season guy. It wasn't like a long term. But, to see a tight end and to see a QB like we have on the Browns, and I just imagine what would happen if you took away some of the injuries. If Chubb was still in this, where would we be? Where could we be?
Oh, yeah. If Chubb was still in this,
our offensive line didn't get killed. I mean, it'd be an absolute insane season.
Honestly, if you give us our complete starting and healthy O-line, a healthy Nick Chubb, and you give us the quarterback play we've had this year, I have no doubt we would have had an even better record.
Oh, way better.
Absolutely better. You could give me 2 more games.
Yeah, I think 2 more easy.
2 more easy with 1 more to go. We'd be an easy, 13...
It'd be like 13-3.
13-3 right now. There's no doubt in my mind.
So, I mean, other than that, there's nothing else to really say. Nope. Again, we're taking this episode.
I have something to say, actually. It's Thursday night right now. Yesterday was Wednesday. Yesterday was Nick Chubb's birthday.
It was. Happy
belated birthday, Nick Chubb.
We miss you. You were on the sidelines today.
You were on the sidelines, brought out that Batman mask to smash the guitar. God bless you.
We can't wait to see you next season.
We cannot wait to have you back.
But overall, this whole point of this episode, is just to praise what the Browns have done with the injuries and
Absolutely.
everything like that.
Absolutely.
And what we're witnessing could go down into history books. I mean, if they keep this storybook run going, there's no doubt in my mind that there's going to be a couple jerseys in that Hall of Fame.
Easy.
Especially Joe Flacco.
I mean, yeah, Joe Flacco's going in.
I never believed I mean, I knew Joe was a good QB, but I never thought he was the guy that could do something like this.
You know, it kind of leaves you speechless because, you know, Rico and I said it earlier. I'll say it for the 58 millionth time tonight. He came off his couch. You know, it damn near makes you think, I'm on my couch right now. That could be me. That could be me.
I think we're better on the couch.
Well, of course we're better on the couch. But I'm just saying, like, it's also a story of, I can't believe he's still this good. But it's also like, if the guy just came off his couch, it just there's that little bit of just like, I can just relate to him so much. Absolutely. Gets me fired up. Gets me fired up. Makes me want to run through a door.
Or don't run through my door.
Of course not.
I mean, if you want to, I'll get a door set up for you.
Absolutely. I'll run through, yell Flacco the entire time.
So if Flacco leads us to a couple wins in the playoffs, we'll set up a door for you to go trucking through it.
And I will turn it to dust.
I like to see this. Joe, please keep it going.
Absolutely, Joe.
But other than that, again, playoff officially bound.
Playoff clinched.
We are clinched. We punched our ticket.
Oh my goodness.
We don't know who we're facing yet.
Nope. Give us anyone.
But hey, you better watch out, man.
Yeah.
Because we're firing on all cylinders. And
dogs are coming.
They're hungry.
They're hungry dogs. They're coming for you.
They want to prove everyone wrong, and I'm just here for
What do you hear that barking in the distance?
It's the Browns.
It's the angry orange and brown.
So, till next episode, I mean, man, we're locked in. We face the Bengals for the final game of the season.
0-5 in the division.
Could be another win, and finishing with a 12-5 record as a Cleveland Browns fan is like a miracle.
That is our Super Bowl.
I mean, honestly, that's a great thing, but I can't wait to see where we go.
Bring it on.
So, till next week.
Till next week.
Pleasure, sir.
All mine.